Hello and welcome to the day 5 of SCCM 2012 training, and we were supposed to go ahead and install the operating system through SCCM, but before that let's just go ahead with the slides. And this is the all the courses that IT Professional Courses Canada are offering, and there are more coming there. So keep logging into these courses, as well as you could just go and have the free trainings available for SQL Server, as well as Citrix 6.5 Zen app. So for that you just need to fill out the user registration form. Okay, so about the next task, which includes our PowerShell portion of System Center Configuration Manager. So let's just go ahead. This is the book recommended for System Center 2012 R2. And before we go to PowerShell, I always ask if you are all able to do the lab till the last class where we were, and are your Windows 7 and Windows 8 clients showing yes inside the assets and compliance inside the SCCM console. So this is what I am asking about. Inside the assets and compliance and devices, your Windows 7, Windows 8, or whichever devices you want to communicate the Windows machines, client machines, to the SCCM server, they should be showing yes under the client, and client activity must be active. So let's go ahead, and if during the you're doing the installation of SCCM client over the Windows machines, then in the task manager of those Windows client machines you see this SCCM setup.exe. That's a reminder. So that's what we're about to do today. So as I was saying about config manager PowerShell, yes, it has one as well, just like any other Microsoft products. So let's just visit that quickly. For so I'm just gonna connect to my and log into my machines. So let's just go inside. This was my domain controller. Then I'm going and logging in from my SCCM server as well, and checking out my Windows 8, logging in from there. So back to my SCCM server, where since we pinned this SCCM console to the taskbar, so I'm just going to click here. Okay, it is starting now. Okay, so here for SCCM PowerShell, we just go to the top left and then click the drop down here and go connect via Windows PowerShell. Click OK. Just click it, and there you go. First time it does give a message, and you just have to press all or always, and then next time when you open it, that message doesn't come. There are certain commands there. There are actually a long list of commandlets, but just for introduction, we can just go for get CMM. Press tab to autocomplete. Again tab. This is the CM management point. So if I press enter, it's just telling us which is which server holds our management point for the SCCM 2012 environment, and in our case it's server 2, which is the only server having distribution point and all the system roles. It is the only system server in our environment, and there's all other details available there. If we just go for get CM site, press tab to confirm if this is the command, enter. So this also just shows where it is installed and which server hosts this site, and the name of the site and some other information, but there are a huge amount of commandlets to perform just any task that we can perform in GUI and more in PowerShell, and we're going to be later touching it as well. So I'm just going to close here, and this was our where is PowerShell in Config Manager and how to access that. We just covered that. Second thing we wanted to cover was installing the cumulative update, or CU5, to SCCM 2012 R2, and for that there is that link I have put in the chat during the class time, and I'm going to just put that link inside the academy as well. So I'm just going to go ahead a little and reach that. This is the screen and this is the link, so I'm just going to click that link, and on my other screen there is that page opened. I'm going to actually include that link inside the day 5 on inside the Online Academy LMS. Okay, so I'm just going to get that site available here, and this is the site. That's the link I've already made available under that day 5. So what we need to do is just click the hotfix download available, click here. It's going to take us to the page where we need to select it and mention our email address. Look at that, double click that, and request hotfix. So this hotfix has been emailed to me, and I'm just gonna go, there you go, you can see this right now. In fact, if I open it, I'm just gonna drag the screen here, and this is the email, and if I keep going down, this is the link that I need to click and download. So I'm just gonna download this link and go inside my million folders. So SCCM stuff, software, and CU5. So here it's downloading, and it is not very big, just 100 megabyte. So once it is done, then I'm just gonna copy it to the SCCM server here. So I've already actually copied that. I just wanted to show you this procedure. Once we copy that inside the hotfix, it's this CU5. If you want to extract that, then just double click that. It's going to ask where to extract, and I can just give the path here for my E drive, software, press OK, and it is extracting this file, 54451. Done. So if I go back to the software folder, there it is now, 54451, which is okay. So, well, from here I can just double click that. It's gonna try to extract. Press yes. I've also mentioned or added that document of step by step how to install this cumulative update 5 also in the under the day 5. So click next, and I accept next, and verifying no active configuration manager. So I need to close the console here. Just close this opened SCCM 2012 console and run again. Yep, everything okay here. Next. This update contains a server update which has already been installed on this computer. Actually, you know what? This is a repeat video, and I again wanted to show you this process, but now it says the included server update cannot be installed again. However, the option to create deployment packages will be available. So you just go next, and finish, and it just installs without any changes. That's what I wanted to go ahead and show you. Unfortunately, the first video we were doing, it was lost, so I'm just redoing this. But this right after this, it's just next, finish, right? So it takes a little time to install and finish. So just in the end, you have to restart this machine, and you should. Okay. So I'm just going to cancel out from here, just showing that we need to install this cumulative update 5 because it covers up a lot of bugs, and we don't want any future labs to be giving us errors because of those bugs, known issues. Okay, so 2 things we did: saw the PowerShell portion a little briefly, as well as saw how to download and try to deploy cumulative update 5 for SCCM 2012. Now we will be going for creating operating system deployment features. We're going to be configuring them, and let's just go back to the slide here. So yes, we went to the PowerShell, and where I was mentioning that if there's a message coming, just go for always run. And let's just go ahead, get C on site. These are the command lists we did. You can just try to also run this command to know which server holds or hosts the site system role called distribution point. So I'm just going to go ahead now. These are the 3 tasks we need to do: boot images and distribution point configuration for OSD in SCCM 2012. Capture the image and then deploy the image. So overall, our plan is, let me just explain that. So if we just go for PowerPoint, oops, the paintbrush actually. So suppose there are 200 machines which have been purchased from the vendor by our company. We're the system administrator, or if you're the system administrator and your company bought those 200 bare metal or client machines, where you're supposed to install Windows 7. So we need to install, suppose on all machines, Win 7 and MS Office, suppose, and Adobe Acrobat, WinZip, antivirus, and the list goes on, or whatever your higher management has, or our department head has asked us to install in all those 200 machines for the end users. So we are responsible for installing this on all 200 machines. So in order to do that, we need to actually come up with a reference machine. So one of the 200 client machines, we will go to and install Win 7 and all the required applications. On the 200 client machines, we will go to and install Win7 and all the required applications, and make sure it's working perfectly. So once it is perfect, then we will capture the image of its C drive, and we will upload that image to network share, and then we will deploy it to the rest of the 199 machines. So this one working machine is called reference machine, right? So we're going to be working on the reference machine, and these are some of the steps. These are the actual steps that we need to take, but you know, the major steps are still available on the other Word document. So there will be step-by-step stuff we need to do. These are the steps that I already lined up during the class, but sadly I lost the video because I lost the disk space, so that was a disaster. I'm recreating the whole thing now after midnight. Ugh. Okay, so this is our plan. It's our scenario that we discussed, which I just told you. The major steps are that we have to configure a distribution point for PXE, and it's good that our internet NIC is disabled, and then we have to configure our boot images, and then we have to just add privileged account to a network access point in software distribution, and we're going to go there and check that. So I'm just going to go one by one, and then do the task and come back and do the second task. So first one is to make sure our distribution point is configured perfectly. It needs to know that it will be receiving communication from bare metal machines or empty machines. Those machines are going to request image from the SCCM server, so distribution point has to be made ready for that. So I'm just going to go back to my server, SCCM server, and I'm just going to make sure that this task is done. So how do we make sure that the distribution point is ready to communicate with the bare metal machines who are going to be booting from PXE and requesting an IP from DHCP and then connecting to the SCCM server for image? So I'm just going to go first to administration, and from here to site configuration, and then to site servers and site system roles. Here I'm going to go to distribution point, right click, properties. As I said, and I'm going to be saying that again throughout the video, that I lost the video, so you would find everything configured, but I'm going to just go exactly to those steps and just unconfigure and then configure that again, just to show you what we need to configure as well as why we are doing that. So I'm just going to right click here, properties. The only thing to configure for the distribution point properties is the PXE tab. Here, if you enable that, this message pops up, and it's just using these ports to communicate with the PXE machines, which are just bare metal or empty machines. So as a firewall administrator, or you could just if the firewalls are on, you have to add these ports as an exception to the firewall, port 67, 68, 69, 4011 for PXE requests, and operating system installation port 69 UDP. So I'm just gonna click yes here, that yes, we're gonna do that, and then allow this distribution point to respond to incoming PXE request. Yes, those machines, when they're requesting that, hey, Mr. Distribution Point, I already got IP address from DHCP, can you now give me that image? So yes, distribution point should do that. That's what we checked it here for. And then enable unknown computer support. If I click that, again, it's going to say that, saying that, unknown systems are those whose MAC address is not known by SCCM. So, well, it is okay. I mean, uh, those 200 systems, suppose they are just in front of me in some big lab, and I know they're all coming from the vendor, and then there are no extra systems available here. So yes, unknown systems can communicate with my distribution point. Require password when computers are using PXE. Yes, there will be a point where when we are deploying the image, the PXE machines will start deploying the image. So at that time there will be this message popping up that, hey, please provide the credentials. It's okay for us to do that, for just to know here. uh, Otherwise we can just uncheck that, and it's just gonna go ahead, right? So, and then there's a respond to PXE requests on all network interfaces. Yes, it should respond to all network interfaces, but in our case, I'm just going to go back and just show you that in the class we had already went to the network cards to local server and here, and then we had disabled this internet network card. So please disable it if you're following this video, because if you were not in the class, or you're repeating the lab in another set of machines, then this internet card would have been enabled, and we don't need internet connection right now, because we're just trying to capture image of a working Windows 7 machine that is already available in our environment. We're going to capture the image of this Windows 7 machine and deploy it here, upload the image here, and then from here we're going to add another empty machine here, and we're going to deploy the image to that empty machine. Today we're just capturing the image because it's going to take time. So I just wanted to show that disable the internet NIC, which we did. So I'm just gonna go back to this window, and this is all here, and this point here is specify the PXE server response delay seconds. It just shows that if you have more than one distribution point, and you kind of prefer that, okay, maybe distribution point 1 is a higher end server, and you want that distribution point to first receive the PXE communication from the Windows bare metal client machines. So you could just put 5 seconds or 10 seconds here for this server, because you want the other server, and in the other server in this same place you can put 0. Here you can put 5 seconds, or just so the communication could be done with that server first, with that distribution point first, right? But let's just we just have one, so we're just gonna keep it 0, and that's all here. So apply and OK. So second thing is that we're gonna go back. So I'm just gonna go to the list. This is done, so I'm just gonna put it green for OK. Is that the correct green? Or as you say, is that green enough? Okay, so this is green. Second thing, disable network card. Okay, done. Third thing, configure boot images, modification for CMD access, and then update the DB about this modification. So let's just go there and talk about what is this. So I'm just gonna go back to my SCCM 2012 R2 server, and so I need to go to software library, and then to expand the operating system, and then go for the boot images, and here so these boot images or only help the bare metal or empty machines to start, boot from PIXY, activate or enable or start the network stack, and then try to search for a local DHCP, get an IP address, and request an image from the SCCM server. But basically it's just to connect an empty machine to the network, right? So for 64-bit machine, this boot image is there, and for a 32-bit machine is this boot image. And what we need to do is, actually it's already showing green here, but I'm just going to go through the procedures still. Right click here. In your case, if you were in the class, or if you were not following the class at that time and you're following now from the video, so when you click here, you should see this circle as gray. This means that whatever changes we are about to make to the boot image are not known by the distribution point yet. When we make those changes and right click and click this distribute content, then this tells the distribution point that, oh, in the boot image there has been some changes made, and they want the distribution boot image wants the distribution point to know that you're gonna be Mr. Distribution Point, you're gonna be using this boot image to help the bare metal machine start and connect to the DHCP, and then connect ultimately to the SCCM server for image. So I'm just gonna right click the first one, go to properties, and then there are many tabs here, but I'm just gonna go for customization, and here I'm making sure that enable command prompt, command support testing only is checked. In your case it's not gonna be checked, so please make sure it is checked. And second thing is data source. Here it's by default checked, but just make sure it is. So we just keep this as default, but we check mark this one. And what is the purpose of this one? So let me just get back to this drawing. What happens is that if okay, so what happens is that first we install everything, the OS and the applications on this machine. So this is called a reference machine. Out of the 200 we just pick one machine and do that, right? And then second thing, we take an image of this machine, and then we upload that image to SCCM server or any file server, which is also a distribution point. Then from that server we are going to deploy this image, ready-made image of a working Windows 7 machine, to all the other empty machines. So this would be, all the rest of the, suppose 200 empty machines, 199 empty machines out of the 200 that are available, on which we're going to be deploying this image. So this all has to be coming from SCCM to all the empty machines, right? So what happens now is that when the deployment of the ready-made image from this SCCM server is going to this Windows machines, suppose during the deployment some issue arises, so you can just press F8, and then you can just go inside the command prompt. Then through command prompt you can go inside the different folders and you can check the log files in this target machine, that what happened, what went on the last time it got error or the issue, what was going on at that time. So this is what that setting we are doing back in the machine here in the boot images. This is what it's going to help us do, that during the installation or deployment of the image on the empty machine, if it gets any issue, press F8, the command prompt should show up, and then we should know where to go and which log files to open and check what happened, what is the reason of this issue, right? So I'm just gonna check mark this, make sure this is already check marked, which it already is by default. So press OK here, and then we go for, so the only thing that pops up, so let me just actually uncheck that to show what pop-up comes. This pop-up comes, right? So if I enable it now and apply, this pop-up comes for you, and you just go and press no for now, right? Press OK. Same thing we need to do for the x86 image. I'm just going to go to the customization, uncheck that just to show that in your case it's gonna look like this. Click that, make sure that source is already checked, which it already is by default. So just click apply if this pops up, and it will pop up, so press no here as well. Click OK. If by accident you've already pressed yes, it's okay, just go ahead, right? But once you press no to both of them, then right click again and just click this distribute content. So what we're doing is we are distributing this content, or we are distributing this boot image to, or shifting or making a copy of this boot image to the distribution point, so the distribution point can use this to communicate with those empty PXE machines and give them the image. So distribute content, it starts a wizard. Next we need to tell it which okay, I already published it, so if I do this, so cancel out, what I'm doing is this distribution point here. If I click that, there should be an option here, checkbox here, with the correct name of the SCCM server, which is server 02. So in your case, you're going to just click that check mark here and press OK, and then next finish. That's all, right? So it's not going to ask anything else, but you need to make sure that when you click add distribution point, you just go for that. You should be seeing this checkbox here with server 2 written here. Just click that checkbox and press OK, and then click next finish. In my case, it is already done, so it's not showing that, it's not letting me do that. Right click the second one and go for the distribute content again. Next, exactly same story here as well. Just click add, go to distribution point, and there should be that server 2 showing here for this as well. Click the check mark here, press OK, and then click next finish, right? So what happens is that your gray circle for this should be green, and your gray circle for this should be green. And once it is green, we can just go to the content status as well. We click here, it takes us under the distribution status and to the content status, and the boot image and boot x64, x86 boot image should both be showing here, and should be showing number as 1 here. So this is good, which means we're good. So I'm just gonna press back here and now the third task, so I'm gonna go here and just click that as green, and now I'm gonna go for added privileged account to network access point in software distribution, right? So added privileged account is the purpose of this is, let me just show you one drawing here that shows the error that might come if we have not configured this. So if I go to config tool and take a screenshot and show you here. So this error comes, task sequence deploy Windows 7 has failed with the error 0x800 and then 7002. So this error comes if we haven't done the next step. So I'm just gonna minimize that, and let's just go add privileged account to network access point in software distribution. So let's just go back and check where it is and what we're doing. So this is in just a sec. I have this screenshots on my right screen. So here yeah, it's sites. So I'm just gonna go to administration. I'm gonna go to sites and then go up for settings, and there's that configure site components, and there's that software distribution point. We actually have to go here, and what it's doing is that we're gonna put privileged account like our domain admin account here. So when the bare metal machine picks up the image and is in the process of deploying that image, it connects to distribution point. It needs some privileged account, and sometimes it does not get that access to the privileged account, so it gives that error. So here, if we mention that domain admin account, it's going to just keep on deploying the operating system from the SCCM. So here I'm just going to go to the second one. In my case, it's just showing here. In your case, just click here and go to existing account, click here, see this, click like this and press OK. And in my case, it's saying already exists. If in your case, if it's not there, just go there like this and go for existing and press OK, right? So make sure this is done, and I'm just gonna go back and check this as well, like this. Okay, and now next steps are we need to create a capture file from within the SCCM disk, join the reference machine from domain before running this capture image media. So what's going on here at this point? We need to create a capture file from within SCCM. Okay, so what's going on now? Let's just go to the trying. On this SCCM server, so we're going to just create a capture media. It will be an .iso file. It has once created should be placed from where it can be mounted to DVD of the reference computer. So we're going to create a capture media, then and it will be an ISO file, and it should be placed from where it can be mounted to DVD of the reference computer. So what's going on here is that the capture media will be created on the SCCM server. Then it will be placed on in a place from where it can be mounted to the DVD of this machine. So capture media, which is created here, will be mounted to the DVD on the reference computer, which is having all these software, right? So then we're going to, from the DVD of the reference computer, we're going to execute and run this capture media here, and it's going to start capturing the whole installed Win 7, MS Office, Adobe Acrobat, everything. It's going to start capturing that, and it's going to also upload that to this SCCM server, right? So create a capture media here, mount it to the DVD here, and it's going to run the wizard of capturing the whole C drive here, which has all these data, which has the working machine data, and then we're going to upload from this machine whatever it captures. It will upload that to a another shared folder on the SCCM server, right? Then the next stage would be to just deploy it to the rest of the machines. So I'm just going to minimize that and come back how to create this capture media. So I'm just going to minimize that. I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to go to software library here, and there's this task sequence. So task sequence is all about, is a list of tasks that are defined, that are telling the SCCM server that, hey, when you're first deploying the image to a bare metal machine, you just first go and connect to the bare metal machine. This is task number 1. Task number 2 is format the drive C of that empty machine, format the drive of that empty machine, then create a partition on that empty machine. Task 3, task 4 is give it a letter, assign it letter of C. Task 5, make the partition maybe 1 terabyte. Task 7, 8, 9, 10, then install operating system, and so on, so on, so on, right? So this is called a task sequence, and when the deployment is going on, it has to follow this task sequence. So I'm just going to right click that here. First we are just going for a capture media. We need to create a certain set of files that's going to help us capture the image of that working Windows 7 machine, which is known as reference computer, right? So create task sequence media, and here we're just going to go for capture media, and next. So now we need to make sure that there's a folder which is shared over the network. So I'm just going to go back, and in the E drive, actually we're in the software folder already. Well, during the class I created this Win 7 cap, but since you're repeating that, or if you did not follow in the class, so I'm just going to create that folder, Win client 7 capture, Win client 7 capture, right? I'm just creating this folder first of all. Second thing, I'm going to share this folder, share with, so I right clicked it and share with specific people, everyone, click add, and make sure it is read and write. Make sure it is read and write. Okay, click share, done. So it is the folder Win client 7 capture. Second folder, I'm going to create another folder as well, which is new. Inside this folder, another folder called captured OS. So when the operating system is being captured and finally will be captured, the whole image of C drive, so we're going to place that here. I'm going to show you anyway. So this folder here has been created, so I'm just going back to that wizard where I start, click browse, and I need to go to server 2 where I created that shared folder, and I need to actually move that and enter all the shared folders of server 2 are showing. Go where we just created that folder, so it's Win client 7 capture. Double click that. We're gonna just name the file here So the file name we're gonna just give here as WinCap 7, WinCap 7, and it's gonna be an ISO file. So click save. It gives that extension to it, and that's what we exactly want, the ISO file, and this file will help us capture the image of the C drive of that reference computer and upload it to SCCM server, right? Okay, click next, browse. So we need to just show that this is an x64 64-bit image, so double click. And we also need to show which distribution point it's going to use. Of course, it's our server 02. That's the only distribution point we have. Click OK. Next. And next. Press yes. So let it create that. Whoa, that was fast. Is it? Nope. So it's still processing. Let's let it keep doing that. Okay, so it is done, and I'm just gonna close here. We got that file called WinCap7, and it is under that WinClient7 capture, which we just created and shared. So now we need to copy this file. So since we are taking the image of this Windows 7 machine, right, and I'm just gonna log in from Windows 7 here. One more thing about that Windows 7, it must be disjoint from the domain. Make sure that this machine is disjoint from domain. It is not supposed to be joined to the domain, right? And since it started, let me just show you now. If you go to Windows Explorer, computer, right click, and properties, and it is change settings. If you could just go there, although it's just showing here already, and click change, so it's part of the work group, right? If it's part of the domain here, just come back to this area, come to this area just like I am here now. And if this is clicked and domain name is mentioned, so just click this one, press OK. It's going to ask for credentials. Just give your credentials of your local administrator, and the password, or the domain administrators like SCCM domain / SCCM admin, and the password ABC shift ABC and shift 123. So, and then press OK and then restart the machine. So it's going to be disjoint from domain. But in my case, it is already disjoint. Second thing, I'm going to go back to server, SCCM server, and I'm going to right click and copy this capture media to my drive, to my desktop of my laptop. Well, it's there. So I already had the previous one. I think it's already used. Yeah, anyway, I just placed it on my desktop, right? So from here I'm just going to mount it to the DVD of this Windows 7 machine, because once it's mounted, we're going to execute this or start this capture media. It's going to start taking the image of this Windows 7 and uploading it to the shared folder there on server 2, right? So I'm going to right click this machine, going to the settings, go to DVD and click browse. Since I'm on the desktop already, I clicked it. So because I placed it on the desktop, so I clicked the desktop and it's there. Um, so this is the one because I'm seeing the time here now. This was the old one. So this is the one that I just placed on my laptop desktop, and from here I'm just mounting it to my DVD. Press OK. So once it is mounted, this is it. It's showing there in this computer, the DVD. It is showing there. So double click that. Press yes. Guys, one more thing. You do see here on the right side, the internet is available. I do not need internet on this reference machine as well. So I'm just going to right click and go to Open Network and Sharing. So it opens and I do not need internet connection, right? So if I go to change Docker settings, and which one is connecting me to the internet, if I double click this one, click details, yep, this is not my local IP, so this is connecting me to the internet and I do not need this. So I'm just going to disable this. And so as it disables here, it's going to show the yellow sign. Yep, there it is. Okay, so it's disabled, close this, and after double clicking this, it starts here again. Suppose it doesn't start like this. So if it doesn't go for open autoplay, then you go open and just double click this launch media, double click that, it is press yes, it just opens the same, right? Okay, so once the wizard is open, we click next. Now it's asking for a destination where indicate where you would like the operating system image to be created. So I'm just going to click browse, and since we are not connected to the domain, so we need to just give credentials before we connect to that shared folder we created on SCCM server. So I'm just going to start typing /server02 is the name for my system server. If I press enter, it's going to try to connect to that, and there you go, it's asking for credentials. So I'm just gonna, since it is showing the local machine name, so I'm just gonna put the domain name SCCM domain /SCCM admin, and then go for the password. So after giving proper credentials, it should be showing the shared folders of my server 02, the SCCM server, and I need to, there it is, all the folders are there. So if I go down, this is the folder Win Client 7 capture. If I go inside this folder, there's that captured OS available as well, and I want to go inside as well in this one because I need all the image for the C drive of this reference machine to be saved inside the captured OS there. But I need to name this, so this is Win 7 captured image .vim. Mention that .vim here because click save, it should be showing here and automatically does not create that .vim. We have to just mention this .vim as well. Make sure .vim is mentioned here. Okay, so let's just go for what am I doing? So SCCM domain backslash SCCM admin, and this. So credentials are given. Next. Now it's asking who did create that. So this is just general information, and it is like, okay, IT department, Toronto HQ. You can just put anything here. Frontier company, situation, location, and version Win 7 Pro, description, whatever. Next, and finish. So, well, it should just start taking. So it's running sysprep right now, preparing operating system, running sysprep in the background, and it's going to be a good 25 to 30 minutes actually before it ends the whole thing. So it's going to do a restart here in a couple of minutes, and after that it's going to continue uploading the image of this Windows 7 2 server 02. In fact, if we go there and if we go inside the captured OS, right now nothing is created, but when it restarts for once, it's going to, there's that file name we gave there, .bin, that's going to show here. Let's just go back and check what's going on. Yep, it's the sysprep is going on now. Any moment it's gonna restart. Okay, now it's restarting, and then it's going to resume this image capture wizard. We can just click restart now as well if you want. Okay, restarting now, and now it loads that environment here where it's capturing the image of the C drive of this reference machine and uploading it from here to server 02. See this, captured the reference machine. It has started already. So maybe the file is created here. Well, not yet. Oh, there you go. The file is showing here now. In 0 KB, it's gonna go up to 2.4 gigs GB. So scanning the volume, then it's going to capture it. As it's going to take a long time, so I'm just gonna pause that, but I'm gonna keep showing you different, if it changes a little or more. pausing it now. You can see that it's 294 megabytes uploaded to server 2 from the zone, and you can see the number is changing now, 428 megabytes. Okay, so the image uploaded, and we're going to just check if this upload image is there on the server 2. And we have the folder, as I said, it's going to be 2.4 gigabyte. That's what it is. So I'm just going to go back and check this. We need to create capture file from, okay, we had already done that. So I'm just gonna color it green, then it's just trying the reference machine from domain before running this capture. That was also done, and create a network folder to receive this image from reference computer. Done. We need to mount ISO to duty. We did that, and add this capture image to OS images inside SCCM console. We need to do this and distribute it to DP. So I'm gonna quickly go there and do this. We need to add that Vim file we just captured to operating system images, and so I'm just gonna right click this operating system images, add operating system images is the option there, and just click browse. And we need to go to this network share, right? So I'm just going to go to there, and this is the folder we created with client 7 capture. Double click captured OS, then we created, remember? So this is the file we just copied. This is the image, Windows 7 in one file, right? Double click that, the whole thing shows there. Next. Yep, that's the information. Next, next. Okay, it is complete now. Let's click close. What we need to do finally is just gonna click that image we got just now, and it is gray. This means that it has not been distributed to the distribution point, so let's just do that. I'm just gonna right click that and distribute content, and this next, click next. We need to make sure that the distribution point is there. Our distribution point server 2 is showing like this exactly. Check it, press OK, next, and next. So now it's going to distribute the content to distribution point, which means it's going to be turning green. Close. I'll click here and then click back. Should at least be turning yellow. Yellow means in progress here, and green means it's done. Just clicking back here again, and let's see if it is done or not. So I'm gonna just click somewhere else, and then I'm gonna click again. It is still in progress of being distributed to the distribution point, this image. Once it's green, this means that the distribution point is ready to deploy that to the bare metal machine. Okay, so this it's showing green now, and so final task where add this to the voice images done and distribute to the DP to the distribution point is done as well, right? So these are all the tasks we were supposed to do, and what we actually did is till now that we have captured the reference machine's image from here, and then we uploaded it to the SCCM server, and here the distribution point is now ready to distribute that to all these reference machines, all these empty machines, not reference machines, all these empty machines, right? So these empty machines should be getting this image now, and this was going to be done in the next lab. So please finish this, repeat this, and create your screenshots and send it to me. And sorry for that, losing that class video. The space just ran out, and normally it gets recovered, but it did not. Also, let me know about there will be soon. We will be launching this Microsoft Private Cloud and bonus AWS Cloud intro and lab. We're going to be starting that course soon. So if you're interested, just email me. Thank you very much.